Hi.
Hi.
Did I surprise you?
Did you
No.
go? So I couldn't see you for a minute.
Oh, I vanished.
There you are. Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hello, hello. So I'm gonna do the camera dance today. We're just gonna jump into it. So Amber, if you want, Amber's gonna go first, and we're starting off with a little Canada Day tribute, right?
Yes, that's right. As Ham said earlier in our text, we're doing Canada Day Sweet Am style.
Awesome.
Exactly.
So this is, we're doing the wet on wet technique today. So I know a lot of you have questions about that and about icing consistency and color bleed. So I figured this demo is kind of a good time to talk about all of that.
Awesome.
So we're starting out with my orange vanilla cardamom cookie recipe, which is available in my coffee shop. And the link is in the description. It's in the Facebook comments. And it's on the ticker there on the screen. So
There it is.
An icing recipe there. So
there it is.
Yeah. I'm going to start out by flooding my cookie with 15 to 20 second count icing. I'm not using a tip today. I just wanted to make this as simple as possible. The cookie cutter is the Maple Leaf from Ann Clark.
So don't hesitate to post your questions in the comments section, and Amber will answer you.
Mm-hmm. And I'm using the same consistency to outline as I'm using to fill in. I do that because I don't want to have to mix up two consistencies of the same color. And I also like the way it looks without an outline. It just gives you a nice smooth edge. And then I'll just use my scribe tool to help shape it a little bit. So with the wet on wet technique, with this recipe, I have anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes to get my design in there before the icing crusts over. And that depends on the weather. It depends on the icing consistency. If it's a little bit too thick, it's going to crust over faster. And I also use extra meringue powder in my royal icing recipe. So I use 5 tablespoons per 1 pound of confectioner sugar, and the whole recipe is also in the coffee shop, so you can find that over there. And then I find that the extra meringue powder just gives you a little more time to work with it. It gives you more of like an elastic consistency to the icing. And now I'm going to go with my red icing, also using a bag for this.
I love it just as is.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? It's such a great
Yes, I love it.
Okay, so I'm going to do my filigree design here. So this is a design that I've been doing for years. Like I used to draw this on paper even before I started doing cookies.
Look how fluent she is.
I've had a lot of practice with this one.
Are you breathing when you're doing the swirls, or are you holding your breath?
Very, very shallow breathing.
Amber, is the recipe, you have a book here, a rice piece is asking, is it the same recipe that's in your book?
Yes, it is. That's my sister-in-law. Hi. It is the same. So if you have the book, then you have the recipes. And I'm getting more copies of that book printed. It's actually not available anywhere right now, but it is in the process of being printed. So and it's going to be a hardcover this time, which I'm so excited about.
Oh, really? That's great.
So anyway, the template for the filigree is also on the coffee shop. So you can use the template if you have a projector. You can use it that way. You can use it just to practice your filigree. And it also comes with the filigree stencil template. So if you have a stencil cutting machine, like a Cricut or a Silhouette, you can do the stencil, but the stencil is a little bit big for this shape. This is kind of a smaller size cookie cutter, so the stencil is probably too big in this case, but you can get the template and use it for practicing.
No. How big is your opening on your bag? Because these are tipless, right?
Yeah, this is tipless bag. It's very small. Like I just did it as small as I could and to, still have the icing come out. But as small as possible for this one.
Julie is asking if you will autograph the books.
So the thing is that some of the books are coming to me, which I can sign, and those will be sold on my website. But then the books that are sold on Amazon and other sellers, I can't sign because I don't have them. But if you buy it directly from me, then I will sign it. But also, if you, my VIP subscribers on Patreon get a signed copy of the book, so you can get one that way as well. So there's our book, right? And then I just want to let this rest over a little bit, but I'm going to put an outline just to kind of finish it off.
Well, these would be great for Thanksgiving as well. I mean, yes, Canada, but right, perfect for.
Yes. I was doing a little last-minute research today about Canada, and the official flower is something that I already forgot, but maybe you know it, Mar. Okay, who knows the official
look it up
of Canada?
What's an official? Okay, everybody's looking at their phones now. Official.
Donna's saying it's pretty without even the border.
Oh, thank you.
Canada. Okay, folks. So according to the magic of internet, it's bunchberry.
Yes, that's it.
No idea what
is the, oh, I guess it means official national flower of Canada. Bunchberry is the choice.
Okay.
So I guess it was like voted on, maybe.
Oh. Never even heard of it. I wouldn't know about it.
Somebody voted. I don't know. Did you vote? Did you? Did you?
No. I did not vote.
So disappointed. You did not vote for bunchberry.
Well, anyway, I was doing.
Does US have because I'm doing United States. Is there a flower? National flower of United States?
Let's see. Well, this one I'm doing a flower on this cookie, and I thought, oh, maybe I should do the official flower, but I didn't.
Oh, there is a rose. A rose.
In the States, it's a rose.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's funny because I just got a rose today. My neighbor brought me a potted rose. That's why? No, it's like a rabbit hole, right? Like, why is it? And
I know.
You start looking like,
yeah.
Oh, Texas is blue bonnet. That's a nice flower.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess so. Each even Ontario is trillium, different.
Oh yeah, different
flowers, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like every state has a flower. Okay, so this one is going to be a brush embroidered flower, but I'm doing it wet on wet, which I've never done before today. I just came up with this, can you do brush embroidery with wet on wet? And it turns out you can. So I'm going to do it.
Oh yeah, maybe that's why there's a rose garden at the White House.
That makes sense.
Yes. So that would be, oh yeah, I have this idea for the rose. All right, so you're using flood icing for this?
Yes. So now I'm gonna.
It's not as easy as she makes it.
A little brush. So normally I would do this on dry icing with stiff consistency for the flower, but this kind of works too. The only thing is that you kind of are pushing all of your icing toward the edge of the cookie, so you're gonna have to like take some off so it doesn't all spill over the edge.
Everybody's loving it.
Thank you.
Julie's got a long question here. Her cookies.
I'm just reading through it. I'm halfway through.
You know, sometimes just fluky things happen. You know, that your cookies broke. It might be just. It's hard to know for us.
Do you know if the cookie? How do you bake your cookies? Are they like very well baked, like golden around the edges, or are they like white? Because I wonder if maybe those cookies that broke were maybe a little underbaked, or maybe they got a little soft. But it's like Mars said, right?
Yeah, it's very difficult too for us to comment from here without seeing and having touched the cookies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous, Amber. So would you say though, okay, this is in a time crunch. Let's say you don't have to wait and all that. But ideally, would you do it like your usual way?
Yeah, so this for me is a last minute design because I had a rough week. You know, 2 kids homesick, didn't have time to do much else. So this morning I just thought I have to do something wet on wet because I don't have time to let a layer dry before I do something else. So yeah, I just decided to do this. And normally, yeah, I would let the icing dry and do my usual brush embroidery on top. But if you don't have time, this is a good second choice, I think.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, what is it? Necessity is the mother of invention.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. Humidity is a big factor in the cookie icing and the cookies.
Mm-hmm. So I'm using Chef Master Super Red, and I did have some leftover red icing, and that's always good because if you're making your red icing the day of, it's, you know, you have the potential to add too much color because you're like really trying to get like a nice dark red. So to prevent color bleed, it's better to make it ahead of time, either a few hours ahead of time or the day before. So that way you're not adding too much color because it will darken on its own. And then you want to make sure your cookies dry as quickly as possible. So I always put a fan on the cookies so that the icing dries so that the colors don't kind of have the opportunity to bleed into each other.
Are you reading that comment?
Well, I'm like, thank you. And then I read the name. Hello.
Hi, Dad.
Has he ever decorated with you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what? I used to bake with him when I was little. So he, you know, he had a couple of little cake decorating techniques that he taught me. We never did, I don't know if we did cookies really, but
what's your favorite technique that your dad taught you?
It's just like this very simple, like you take your metal spatula on the top of a cake,
yeah,
and you kind of move your wrist like this to create like little waves on top. That was my favorite thing.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's what he taught me. And we also both went to the Culinary Institute of America.
Yeah?
Like,
which area your dad was into?
Culinary. So I was in the baking and he was in the culinary. You know, 30 years apart, but we both went there, which was pretty neat. But he's not in that industry anymore.
But it's a skill that always comes in handy, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, your dad was also thinking about that trick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, he was in charge of Sunday dinners.
Oh, that's nice. It's certainly a really nice way. My kids are older now. You share sometimes your pictures. It's such a nice way to create memories with your kids baking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was class of 1977. Okay. Some of us.
Okay, and I was class of 2007, so exactly 30 years.
Exactly 30 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Gwen.
Hello, Gwen.
Okay, just added a few little dots. And then we'll go back to this one and add a little outline. I'm just going to use the same flood icing. Donna, that stencil is in the shop. You can, yeah, if you don't want to pipe it, you can use the stencil. It's a lot faster. But again, this cookie's a little bit small for the stencil, but if you have like a 3-inch round cookie or a wedding dress cookie, then you can definitely use that stencil.
Donna is asking, beautiful, how thick do you typically roll your cookies?
I roll mine to a little bit less than a 1/4 inch. So I use that Dough Easy mat that you were talking about in your Tuesday bake along. And then I use like a rolling pin that has guides. It's a wooden rolling pin that's kind of carved with a 1/4 inch guide. So when you put the mat on the dough, it's a little bit thinner than a 1/4 inch. So that's what I do.
Your white icing is what consistency?
This is 15 to 20 second count. And then in the coffee shop, there's also a pre-recorded royal icing class that you can watch that goes into detail about making the icing, thinning it down to flood consistency and how to test it.
So this week, Facebook is having a challenge, and Amber needs to hit 10,000 stars. So if you want to...
How far along are you there?
How far along?
Yeah.
I was over 6,000 when I checked this morning, so not much more to go till I hit 10,000.
Yeah, so you can donate stars in the comments section, and then she'll get her...
A little bonus from
her
Facebook.
Bonus, yes.
Hear that, Dad?
That was a very subtle nudge. I hear that. Hear that, Dad?
Does it count if your dad buys the stars?
Sure, why not?
Of course it does. It counts even more. So Kim is very much inspired by your leaves because she has a wedding coming up in fall.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Oh, yeah, that'll be great.
With some initials on the top. Really pretty.
Gorgeous.
Oh, Debbie, that is so sweet. Too bad YouTube doesn't have the love button.
Oh.
Oh.
Awesome.
1 star, I think it's 5,000 stars equals, what is it, $5?
That's it, I think. $50. No, 5,000 is $50.
$50.
Yeah.
So again, Amber has her royal icing. That's in the coffee shop, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a pre-recorded class. You can learn everything about royal icing, right? How to make it, all the tips and tricks and troubleshooting.
And there's your template.
Yes.
Also in the coffee shop.
On sale through tomorrow.
Awesome. So now I'm up. Let's do the camera dance.
So what are you doing? Oh, yes, I know. Yay.
So this week, a little bit different because, as Amber mentioned, she had some, she was called into mom duty. There was some, so then it was like, oh, maybe I was going to do it. And then she said, oh, no, they're okay today. So I prepared. So I'll do a little fast tutorial and then Han will come in. So that's why we're 3 today. So I reposted this tuxedo. Here I have the picture of the original. Here it is. And that was filmed and done, I think, last year, but it's very popular. It's one of those classic designs that will be good for really almost any kind of like formal event.
Yes.
And it can be done in almost any color. If you do it for prom, you can do it in the colors of the dress. Bridal, you can do the bridal party's color. Really, so many, and it's such a basic cutter, like it's the heart, so you can use it very easily. You don't have to get a bunch of stuff. So here's just a quick little video of me making the corsage. So it's just a green line that I'm coating in nonpareil, and then with my leaf tip, I'm adding 2 little leaves on top, and then a star tip, a little swirl, and I have my little corsage there to add to my cookies. So you can make those in advance. And then I have the bow tie. That template is in the coffee shop, and I'm just piping quickly the tie shape. And I had made earlier just the little dot, and it's dry, and I can just lay it on top, and you get the knot really separate. Again, you can make those in advance. You can make them white if you want to and airbrush them. And then I airbrushed my guidelines, and you can see little specks there in the cookie. That's the recipe that I made with Han the other day when we did the sugar cookies. It's got lime zest in it, and that's what's the color. Like, it looks like they're dirty, but it's the green lime zest in it. And now
I'm dying to try it.
Yeah, they look like, you can really see it. You see this one has it looks like maybe an ant got caught in the dough, but I promise it's not a bug. So I decided to use ivory to decorate them, and the glitter in them. So here, let me just, I don't know if you can kind of see it. It's called, it's the popular thing, they're diamond dust that everybody's using.
Yeah, yes.
And this is the champagne color.
No? It's a champagne color. That's nice.
So if I can give my honest opinion,
yes.
I do not like how it comes out of the bottle. I mean, this stuff is quite expensive, and I find that it's.
Oh, you mean because of the sieve, kind of the pourable?
Yeah, like I don't like the application process. I tried to do it with a paintbrush. I didn't like that either. It kind of is clumpy. I don't know how to it's kind of like it's not like salt, you know. It comes out more, I would say, like trying to.
It's like more flaky, isn't it? Like more like little tiny flakes, no?
It's like trying to sprinkle, I want to say, like cornstarch. Like, you know, like it's clumpy. It's not, it doesn't come out, like the particles are not individual. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I know what you mean. I don't have that experience with it.
So this is what it looks like. And yeah, I'm not a super fan of the application, but here, I'll do it. So I'm just tapping it gently. And it's not even, it tends to, see how.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah,
I didn't love it.
It's not like evenly dispersed. It will create like mountains. And then
I was tempted to swirl it, but then I'm like sinking in my product. It's like this little bottle is like, for me, $10 Canadian. So yeah, I mean, that's my criticism of it. And then once it dries, so you could flood it now, the outside, but if you wait, you get kind of a more defined separation if you need a guideline. But if the guideline is not necessary for you, you could immediately flood, but obviously the airbrush stuff gets hidden. So it depends on your kind of like skill level.
We have few people. Have you tried it in a pump?
I didn't buy it in the pump because I just wanted to try it, and the pump is considerably more expensive because you're getting a lot more product, you know?
Oh, I thought you can just get a spare pump and put it in.
Oh,
there.
I'm not going to start pouring my stuff into a pump. I mean, your half of it falls on the counter. Like, it's very tricky.
It's an excellent point.
Yeah.
You're going to get half your stuff on the counter. You're going to be coated in it. I mean, these are things you buy in the pump.
Yeah.
I guess I would do I would have a fluffy brush and I would dip it so then it would the bristles would hold particles more, and then
I did try it that way as well, and again I did not.
It didn't work for you.
Will that stick to dry icing?
I didn't try again because I was decorating them this morning, so I didn't really have. But yeah, I wasn't digging it. I kind of prefer applying either like a shine airbrush, you know, then I can kind of control it more.
Yeah.
How it's going to go on. And so now this is just a way to get glitter in just a portion of the design, you see, by adding the glitter to that kind of center. And often the fancy dresses do have varied fabric, right?
Yes.
Funnel. Yeah, but the thing is, Kim, it's a funnel, yes, but the product literally has static and clings to the funnel. And my heart cannot take watching the product go down the drain as I clean my funnel. Like my brain I can't wrap
that's just a suggestion. Okay.
Yes, but you know what I'm saying? It's
I know exactly what you're saying. I know, because it does stick to everything. It's very static, yes, but imagine you use the funnel and then you're gonna use the funnel. You're gonna pour some nice. You're gonna make yourself a cocktail. And
yeah.
I'm gonna try to do this. So now you could either use the stencil again or the template again, but now this is a 1.5 piping tip, and you don't have to do this part, but I'm just kind of outlining the bust line. So I like to kind of do the line a bit curved, especially
it's nice.
That. And then I'm just doing a S motion right at the seam to give it like the look of just an added little touch here. So I'm just going, it's just a little wiggly line, kind of like rickrack ribbon. So this is the 1.5. The 1.5 PME tip is just that little bit bigger than the 1, and it's just a little bit easier to use. And then here, I'm just adding little pearls with my 1.5 piping tip again, just to have a little bit more control. And I have the airbrush line, so I know exactly where to pipe it. And you can use either a projector or you can make a stencil like I did. I like the stencil because my hand doesn't obstruct the projection. I can rotate the cookie. If you're working with a projector, your cookie cannot be moved. So sometimes you're in an awkward position and you can't move your cookie. This is a super small, kind of like petal tip. This is a 31R. I do have it in my supply list. And I'm going to
31R. I've never heard of it.
No, well, it's the, they have different numbers in PME, yeah. So I'm just doing a little kind of the same, right at the edge here, back and forth, just to create a little bit of a detail right at the edge of the dress here.
Did you say that's a round tip?
No, it's a petal tip.
Oh, a tiny little petal tip?
You totally use it.
The tiny little roses.
Oh, wow.
Here, look.
Well, is it bigger? Is it about the size of 101S, or is it even
smaller?
I've never seen
smaller than that.
Look at that.
Tiny little, that is so pretty.
And so there, and then the matching, well, the couple. So this is the tuxedo. And again, I didn't, I have the whole stencil, but I only did a little bit because I'm not going to be piping, right? I'm going to hide pretty much the design, so I didn't bother airbrushing everything. And I'm just using the same color as the dress for the shirt. And again, you can match your actual colors of your event. So I'm just filling this here in ivory. I'm stabilizing my hand with the other hand. If you shake, that's the easy way to kind of, you know, do that. You just hold your hand or rest your elbow on the table if you tend to shake.
And you have the templates for this in your coffee shop?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, if you want to get your hands on this awesome set of stencils or template stencils,
You can cut them. If you have the machine, you can cut them. I format all my templates to be cuttable.
Okay, so you can cut them with your machine, or if they don't have the machine, they can also hand cut them.
They can well, this is pretty simple. Yeah, you could hand cut it, but you could also, if you want, use the projector.
Yeah.
You know.
So they're available in Marlene's coffee shop. And the link you can see at the very bottom of the screen.
One of the major problems that everybody always talks about is the black bleeding. So it's not necessary to use black, you know. I mean, now the guys are wearing all kinds of colors. My son actually just had his prom, and practically every boy showed up in a blue suit. So it's not absolutely necessary to do black. I know that's what we see when we look at clip art. It's always a black tuxedo, but it's not necessary to just do that. So this is just like a gray, which I think is very nice.
I love gray.
Yeah, that's nice.
Misha, congrats on getting 2 extra airbrushes. Now, guys, I just realized it was a Prime Day in the US, so let us know what you guys got.
Oh yeah, what did I
we want to see what did you get, like what kind of fun stuff. Oh, can you share what you got?
Was it what we discussed?
Yeah, with the kids and the, you know.
Oh yeah, that's a great thing to get. Awesome. For next time. Hopefully there is not going to be a next time.
I mean, there will be a next time, you know, but
if you will never use it, it will be awesome.
I know.
Awesome. Let us know what you guys purchased. I don't see any comments. Let them come in. I'm sure you shop. Don't be shy.
So you can actually go to this point and freeze them, let's say. If you don't want to, you know, you can kind of break up the decorating process. Often wedding stuff is high volume, so you can kind of break it up. I did the lapels in black just for contrasting for the live. Of course, I stuck my finger in it as I was shifting them around there. I cracked. So that's something to think about when you're picking up your cookies. I try to work on my cookie sheet. Back in the day when I did orders, I would leave them on the cookie sheet and rotate the cookie sheet. I would never handle the cookies one by one, because this is almost inevitable if you're handling the cookies and your icing is very close to the edge. Here I was a little bit more, I gave myself more buffer, but if you're really close to the edge, you see it's in, as soon as you touch it and the icing's not completely dry, which can be very sad.
I get cracks in the icing like that. If you pick it up, even if you don't touch the icing, you pick it up and then you've got little
hairlines,
cracks. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is just disappointing. They look perfect and then you're like, oh no. So the amount of detail is, you know, you can kind of edit. So here it's just, I'm just doing 2 lines on either side here to add kind of like a little bit of something on either side of the buttons. Optional. And then I have my small 1.5 with a darker, and I'm just laying the line right on the seam between the gray and the ivory. So this is kind of like more of a tuxedo vintage look, where you'd have the lapels be a different color.
Remember, do you want to address this because you have a post about the freezing?
Yeah, there's a whole post on my blog about freezing dough, and then there's a post about freezing decorated cookies. But I freeze my raw dough for up to 3 months. So you can even roll out all of your cookies, cut them out, and then freeze the cutouts. You let the cutouts firm up in the freezer, and then you can stack them, because once they're frozen, they won't stick to each other. So you stack them and wrap them up and just keep them in the freezer till you're ready to bake. You can start now. 120 cookies, I would start now. I think it's can't hurt. And then if you wanted to decorate the cookies and then freeze them, you can also do that. There's a post about it on my blog at sweetamps.com if you wanted to take a look at how to freeze decorated cookies.
If you're not sure, one thing you can do is like when you make an order and you have some extra, you can freeze them and see how they come out. See how you're.
Yes, it's always to do a test, right? Because different icings like react differently.
It looks like Anne Clark had 50% off sale, so Diana got 22 cookie cutters.
Wow.
So you want to wait till this part crusts over before you go in and add the bottom lapel, just so you can get a little bit of a like separation between the two. And I'm barely squeezing out the icing, touching the surface to get the little buttons. You can do them in white. I'm working in black just for you guys to be able to see better. So the contrasts.
I love it.
I'm just adding a little bit of icing here. And
it's so very much Downton Abbey, huh?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
cute.
adding my little tie. The transfers are so fast when you can make, you know, parts of it in advance. And then you can add your other part of the lapel.
Can you refreeze already frozen cookies? Like you, let's say.
If you froze the dough and then you froze the decorated cookies.
Yeah, I think you can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say.
I just don't think it's a good idea to freeze a decorated cookie and then freeze it again.
Or I wouldn't like if you freeze baked cookie and then decorate it and then you freeze it. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, probably not.
Because it dries the cookie out. Freezing dries the cookie out.
Yeah. I love it so
adorable. Everybody's loving it.
Cute. And remember, the templates are in Marlin's coffee shop, which is in the description. And also scrolling across the bottom of the screen there, so you can get her templates.
I guess you could make the lapels as transfers as well if you wanted.
Yes, Caitlin. You can also bake. Freeze after you bake. That's what I have done as well. Like I've done both ways, depending on like sometimes people are finicky. They want really fresh cookies, so they freeze the unbaked ones, like Amber was saying, or you can freeze them baked.
In the past, for me, when I frozen the raw shapes, they did not bake. They got wonky when they baked.
Oh yeah.
Really? No, well, it could be the moisture.
I don't know. So
that's asking, what do you do to keep the tip of these tiny tips, piping tips, from clogging when in between piping?
I've got a wet paper towel and I push it up against the wet paper towel. So so then when it's like always against something wet. I'm not sure what side the lapels, the corsage is supposed to go on, but
I wouldn't know. I didn't know there was like an official side.
I don't know either, but it's on this side today. And so yeah, so here's the little couple.
Cute. I love it.
And so
I
these
like the delicate lines on the brown bridal. Oh, okay, bridal gown.
So yeah, you could make them, you know, just a few for your bridal party, like if you're having a little bachelorette party, or you could get ambitious and make them for your actual like wedding. I was seeing people
June says it's on the left side. You learn something new every day.
On the left. And
well, it's on depending on where you're standing.
Well, the thing is if you're looking at it, like right now,
it's on the left.
It's on the left when I look at it like this, but it's on the right when you see like.
Who's left, June?
So yeah. But anyway,
everyone says the left, but like the left, yeah, the guy's left or the.
And then I had another idea. If you're, let's say, short on time and maybe like, you know, whatever, you could actually package them. Now they sell those kind of shrink wrap cookie bags. And you could actually add in cardstock with like, you know, stick on the tie in paper on top of it. You know what I mean? Like finish off the design of the shrink wrap bag. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Just
yes.
if you're maybe short on time and maybe, you know, you just, yeah, it's the left.
Okay.
So that's it.
Someone had asked, I think it was Donna asked how big that maple leaf was. I don't know the size, but it's Ann Clark's maple leaf. I think she's only got one.
So Han, is your camera on?
I think so.
There it is.
All right, so before I start decorating, I wanted to show you a little demo of me prepping my piping bag. We're going to pipe some stripes with blue, white, and red. And I thought I could just do the traditional, you know, way of adding colors, but with having it come out of a tip like this, it was a bit tricky because the colors have to be perfectly, you know, positioned. So this is what I end up doing. So I use the plastic wrap. I have a stiff icing that I colored in blue, white, and red. And I learned that it's you want to pipe equal or somewhat equal parts of blue and red and a little more white because you need some buffer on both sides. So otherwise, all of the white gets kind of absorbed, so you don't have that white line. And I also added kind of like a piece of wrap on top of it, so it's not gonna get too blended.
Well, that's the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, this is.
Yes, me too. I tried this 3 times. I tried 3 different methods, and this one I tried this twice or 3 times, and it seemed to be working the best for the project I was doing, so that all 3 colors come out somewhat equally out of the bag.
And maintaining their trueness, like their true color.
Yeah, I also tried wrapping each color, but then it was the worst. I thought it was going to be really, really good, separating the colors completely, but it wasn't working. And then my piping bag wasn't too big, like it wasn't big enough or something. So then I created a pouch, and I ended up actually using a coupler in my large. This is a 16-inch piping bag. Now you don't have to make the pouch as big as I did. You can make it smaller depending on how many cookies you need to, you know, decorate. And then I actually threaded this end through the coupler. I'm sure you've seen this many times before.
Oh, they have. I didn't know they had so many sizes. I don't know. Mine's probably 2 3/4 inches.
So you thread it through the hole, and then you can cut the end.
So, Anne,
yes.
Are those little pieces of plastic in there right now?
Yes.
Okay.
They didn't come out, so we'll see. They did not like interfere with my project, so hopefully it will work for everybody else who is going to try it. But I want to try this with different colors. Like in my head, I was like having all these ideas with for Halloween, for Christmas, you know, doing like some nice decorating. And then you can use, I ended up using, this is I don't know what this tip is called. Is this also basket weave? It doesn't have the textured end. This is like a smooth tip. That's what I have on now. You want to obviously align it. You want the flat part to be aligned with your color.
I see. Okay.
Okay. And then you can start piping and see if it comes out. Like in the beginning, it may not come out like this. It may come out like all wrong. We just keep pushing it until it comes out nice and clean.
It's like perfect stripes. It's really amazing.
You see here, I have more red.
Yeah.
So that's why I think like adding more white is going to help. And I also have like different colors. I'm going to kind of play with it, like because we have white here. But if you don't have white, if you're using, let's say, pink, yellow, and blue, I think I would add white buffer between. I don't know. What do you think, Mar?
I mean, I think if it's fading, then it looks nice too, though, when they fade into each other.
Yeah, that could be like, I was thinking like if it's yellow, like if it's positioned correctly, like pink and blue would make them purple.
Yes,
and then
yes.
Pink and yellow would kind of like make an orange, right?
Yes.
So that would also be nice. So I'm gonna play with that. And so, okay, I've got here my bag, but I need to swap out my piping tip. And you see, as I was pushing on it, it weakened the bag. You see these stretch marks?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm using extra bag. And I'm going to start with swapping out this tip. This is this is actually a Cake Boss, number 43. So I don't know what that would be in other
Hey,
brands.
Rado.
You didn't realize he was live, so that's okay. First time for everything. You're going to get your ice cream now? They didn't have his ice cream yesterday. We were in an Italian restaurant. They have the best Italian ice cream, gelato. And they didn't have lemon, so he was so disappointed.
Oh.
And the guy actually made some today, so he's going to get his ice cream.
That's great.
Oh, did I not? Okay, let's see. I'm not paying attention. All right, so let's see. I'm trying to, I don't know if you can see, oops. I'm trying to align it so it's somewhat aligned with my stripes. We'll see how it's going to come out. Hopefully it'll be all right.
Everybody's loving your stripe trick, Ken.
We'll see if it works. I mean, I did film it, but okay, let's see how it's come out.
Oh, nice. Look at that. It's so cool. I love it.
Oh, this side is coming out nicer, you see?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
So I might do this side. I'm just gonna do this side. So you can, okay, I'm gonna toss this. All right, so I'm gonna do some simple basket weave. I found some, this is little, where do I go? Okay, here. Can you see okay? I don't know. I always struggle with this. I can't center it. Okay.
That's good.
It's good? Okay. I know Mar has a very special trick on how she does her basket weave. I'm just gonna do it this way, traditional, like old-fashioned way. Basically, you want to.
I know, it's hard to avoid that look.
I mean, no, but technically you could just pipe your cookies with the Aqua Fresh. Just put the piping tip on it.
That is funny. Yes, it does. I mean, if it was but the thing is, like, if you're trying to do the toothbrush thing, you don't need to follow all these procedures because it doesn't. I think it will come out nice regardless. Like, this is only because I'm trying to do stripes to have like evenly.
Mm-hmm.
That is hilarious. Yeah, I like that. So now I'm covering up the end of the line there.
That would be some good April Fool's cookie, though.
Oh, it actually would be.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, we should do that next year.
Maybe you can actually put the icing that looks like this on a real toothbrush rather than putting toothpaste on a cookie. Maybe a little nicer.
Probably, yes, the kids would not be disappointed. But mind you, kid toothpaste is practically candy.
It really is, I know.
Oh, what toothpaste?
Kids' toothpaste.
Yes, but when it's strawberry or something. Oh, it's okay. I'm doing this to make it kind of like even, so it's covering up the whole bottom. I'm going to actually clean up the bits that are not meant to be there. If I can find my tool. Oh, there. It's a good thing we have this big island because I had to move myself on this island because I have so much stuff here. And so now I'm just going to clean up anything that is kind of odd looking and doesn't belong there.
Do you have a supply list for for
I
today?
don't have a supply list for this one. I will try to put it up. I did not have time to put it up. Sorry. All right. So that's the first, like the basket you can do, and then the top. I'm going to start on the top, but we'll do it in sections. So it's super simple cupcake. This is meant to be 4th of July. Oh, and maybe, do you guys want me to include some stars on there? I made some stars. I wonder if this looks like you
Yes.
said this is not, okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to show you how I made the stars. So these are actually sprinkles that I created using stencils. This stencil, it's a star stencil with like multiple sizes. And then I used, this is a piping consistency, royal icing. And the tool I'm using, it's Innovative Sugar Works. And they do, I have them here, I'll show you in a second. This is a large one, which I rarely use, but it works really well for this because it, you can see it's long enough to cover
Whole thing.
through the whole stencil. You don't want to go too thin. You want to go, medium. Because if you go too thin, then your sprinkles are going to be very fine and they will break easily. And if you go too thick, they're not going to be as nice looking because the stencil, it's not that thick. If you want really thick sprinkles, you need to create a thick stencil. And then I'm doing this on a wax paper. And you can do this with a number of different stencils. I've done this with mini polka dot, which is great for confetti. It's so fun and really easy, and they are very teeth friendly, I would say.
Yeah.
And then you can actually repeat this with this stencil right away because there is lots of icing on it already, so you can just spread it over again.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've done this in 3 colors. I did red, I did white, and also blue. To make the blue, I used royal blue, food coloring. And again, I'm using like a piping consistency royal icing. And you can find a full tutorial about this. I didn't use stars in that tutorial. I used like the mini polka dot stencil on my blog, anilas.com. Along with the recipe that I'm using today, royal icing. I like to use fresh lemon royal icing with real lemon juice, although I give suggestions for not so real lemon juice, but there's only one brand that I really like. All right, so you lift it up, it looks so cool. And then you have to let it dry. Now make sure that you let it dry sufficiently because sometimes it looks like it's dry, but if it's not completely dry, they start breaking really easily. Okay, so here they are. I've got my red and I also have blue ones. And I'm going to use this tool. So this is the other one. So I have the long one is here. This is a long one. And you see it's about, it's not half, okay, this one is 4 inches and this one is 6.5 or something like that. Okay, so now I'm going to some of them will break in the process, but you get the idea. And we also have blue ones and red ones. So I wonder which one should I put on this one, this cookie. Should I do blue or red? Or white? Like I haven't really practiced. This is the last, kind of like also the last minute project. So I think the white might be the one that I like the best.
That's the theme today, last minute projects.
Well, I didn't really like plan on it. Well, I did plan and then I didn't finish like what I was doing. Or you can just do it this way if you don't have the tool.
I think the white stars would stand out.
I think the white star is going to stand out more as well. All right. So I'm just going to see here. I made a little mistake. There's a little gap. I didn't go all the way. So I'm going to, I think it's already crusting. So I'm going to add some icing here. Okay. And these are fairly quick. Like it didn't take me too long, obviously, to Okay.
Lynn said she used your fresh lemon icing, and she says delicious.
Thank you. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that, Ken, you are always in a different location in your house. So someone was just saying that maybe if you put a sticker on your table to know where the center of the screen is, but since you move around so much, it wouldn't really.
Well, I could do it beforehand. No, it would. No, that's yes.
It's a good idea.
I should do that beforehand, but I was struggling to get myself ready for today because we had unexpected company. All right, so that's it for the stars, and I'm going to start on the cupcake part, which is super simple, nothing too complicated. We're just going to make 4 sections with my edible marker here. I'm trying to keep the top simple so it doesn't take away from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bit of time for July 4th. They've got a little bit of baking time, eh?
Yes, they do have a little bit of baking time. Today I'm also using a recipe that you can find in my coffee shop, cut out sugar cookies, and it's a really versatile recipe. Marlene, like she mentioned, she used during
Here
our
it is.
bake along. Look, during our bake along, the ones on the right are the Marlins. She used lime zest, orange zest, and lemon zest. Super tropical, right? And I use some sprinkles, so you can really like play with.
Yeah.
Han's Coffee link is on the screen if you want to check it out. She has the supply list too of all her favorite tools in that rollout listing from that day. And he keeps on raving about that scale.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the scale is one of my favorite tools, I have to say. Without the scale, you're kind of, it is fantastic.
Belinda got her airbrush.
Yay!
Oh, awesome!
That's great.
That was really quick. When did you ship it?
I don't know, maybe that Monday.
You were really organized. It would take me forever. Okay, so now I'm actually doing the support line, so we don't have the craters in this. With my icing, it's about 15 to 20 seconds. So I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to work on another design. Now this design, it's we should do the star. Let me do the star first. We're gonna.
So mentioned before, Amber has her star challenge to reach her 10,000 stars, and Han, she's got a live stream for 10 hours. So today we're going a little bit over. We're not going to do 10 hours, but we're going to go.
No, don't worry, not 10 hours.
Get her target.
So now 10 hours, please, okay?
Well, what are we at for what's the total? Do you know right now?
I think I'm almost. I think today, if I remember correctly, I will be halfway there.
Okay.
Yes.
I think. So I've got here some white stars, super plain stars. We're going to glam them up a little bit, and I'm just gonna show you how I ice them. And this is Marlene also uses this technique, but I've first seen these from Manu. I guess it's Manu on Instagram, where she actually makes the loop when she is doing some of the corners. So I'm going to the point, and now instead of stopping, I'm doing the loop. You do that also, Mar, right? I've seen you do that.
Yes.
Okay. So for this one, I'm using 15-second consistency icing. And if you're not familiar with the consistencies or you need to brush up on that, you can check I have an ultimate guide to realizing consistencies, covering different consistencies and how to use them, when to use them, also sample projects, and that's all on my blog as well, hanielas.com. Do we have any questions? All right, so now I'm just using a scribe tool. And I'm going to let these dry. And then I'm going to show you what I did next. All right, so this is done. So you see the stars, the icing is dry. Now I'm going to, remember my 3-color piping bag, I'm going to switch it back to the smaller basket weave.
Can you explain the purpose of the loop again?
I'm sorry?
The purpose of the loop when you do the stars?
The purpose of the loop, well, it just eliminates the extra step of you stopping. Like, it's just faster. I find it faster.
Yes, it looks much faster. So you
It's
just
faster
continuously
and cleaner. Like you, yeah, it's like you can, yeah, that's why. Okay, so now because I removed it, so now I have to try to align it. So it's somewhat, we'll see. All right. So let's see how it's coming out. Hopefully it's not too crusted. And like I said, this is a smaller tip than the one that I used before, and it's 44 kickbars. I don't know what would it be with other brands, but
Did you make flowers with this?
I did not make flowers. No, look how it's not. It's ugly.
Yeah, I think you have to wash it to be safe, right, Han?
Yeah, I think so.
It's tough there during the live. She would need 10 exact piping tips there.
It's coming out okay now. I felt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if it's coming out. It's almost there. All right.
Yeah.
Good enough. Now, like I said, because I removed it, and you can't glue it back exactly the way it was when it was attached, so it may not come out as nice as I have done with these. See, these are pretty sharp, but we're going to try. Okay.
That technique is reminding me, I don't know what they're called, but Amber, you know those half circles with all the like decorations, you know, it's all like that pleated, you know what I'm talking about?
Somebody had just asked that earlier, if you could do like a ruffle kind to do like
Yes,
bunting. Is that
you
what
mean
it's
like
called?
so you mean something like this?
Yes.
That's exactly it.
Look how cool that is. I didn't even know that was piped at first. That is
Yes,
amazing.
this is, if you remember, I used these cookies for my Father's Day.
Yeah.
If they are stale, nobody's eating them. But I figured like it's a perfect shape for the door. So, you know, like you have a lot of times the banners above the door. So if you add all the little details for the door, this could be.
That is so nice. I love that.
And okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, so now let's do this one first, and I'll show you how I did the door. Like I said, it's not gonna come out as nice, but we're gonna do the best we can. And now, if I could remember how I did it. I only did this a few times.
And if any of you make these cookies, when you post them, you can use the hashtag cookie lunch break, and then we can see what you made. So cute.
So I'm actually breaking halfway, and then I'm going to kind of attach it again.
Okay.
It's a bit of a wrist twister, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you can hide it because you're going back, you know, back and forth. You're doing the zigzag line. You see, it's not coming out as nice because the white is kind of lost.
I have a star cutter that's a bit more rounded, and I think it would maybe work better. You know what I mean, for the point there, just to have a bit more.
Yes, I have that cutter as well, but I was a little too late to kind of like find it.
Yeah.
But it's more rounded, so it would probably, yes, I agree, it would probably work better. But honestly, you can't really see the seam. because the way you can manipulate the tip.
Yeah. What tip is this again?
This is the one that it's Cake Boss. It's 44.
34?
By Kate Moss.
44.
I think it's called a ribbon, that particular one. I have one that's a bit narrower. I use it like if I'm making a belt on a character or stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and I was going crazy with this because I was piping the lines, and then you can cut them up as they are wet, and you can use those little pieces to decorate. I also did the, what is the candy called that is like a ribbon? Is it called ribbon candy?
Yeah.
That was really neat. So I did that also, and it worked, and it looked like a little ribbon candy.
Did you say 31?
44.
Oh, 44.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the same number with Wilton and Ateco.
Oh, is
okay.
it? Okay, excellent. Yeah, I will put together a sheet. Okay, so then you let it kind of dry, and then now if you,
What happened?
oh my light died.
Oh. Well, it's still pretty well lit there, so we can see.
So if you'd like, you can let it dry, or I don't know if you like this idea. I painted the edges with gold. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
gonna quickly show you to glam it up a little. So I'm using, this is edible art. This is ready to use glamorous gold. It comes in small bottles like this. It is quite pricey, I have to say, maybe $8 a bottle. I don't use it as often. If you don't have this, you can use luster dust and just mix it with a little bit of alcohol, preferably like alcohol with at least, I would say, 75% minimum, I would say.
This was stiff consistency, right?
Yes, it was stiff consistency, because if you're using thinner icing, then the ribbon design is going to kind of
Yeah.
flatten.
Right. Won't hold its shape.
Yes. All right. So now
Yeah. It's a 44, the piping tip.
yeah, I should have made the template, but the supply list. So I'm just gonna go just on the edge. Let me show you from this way. And this is fairly, like, it's super simple. I think, like, it's not too complicated.
Mm-hmm. I think the hardest part is probably filling the bag.
I'm sorry?
I think the hardest part is probably
Yes.
filling the bag.
Yes. To kind of fill the bag.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the even colors coming, like even amount of color coming out. And then a little bit on a blue, just a touch.
If you switch out the blue to green, they'd make nice Christmas cookies.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, you can really like go. Imagine the gingerbread house, the roof. Oh. All right, so that's one design, and then okay, let's talk about this one. So this one, it's connected to this one. It's a bit complicated.
Okay.
All right, so many of you probably seen my tutorial on Captain America that I did years ago, and it's a really popular tutorial on the blog. So these are the cookies, okay? And I find it, and I still do, I find it hard to make, what's the word I'm looking for? Concentrical.
Oh, concentric circles.
Right. So you have the circles evenly spaced out.
Mm-hmm.
So in this design, the Captain America, I use the same kind of principle and stencil. This one is updated that I have here. How do I remove this? Okay. So this is the one I used, and it is available in my coffee shop. Now in this one, I have one extra circle. So if you were to make the Captain America cookies, you would just skip the center and you would start with this one. And you can obviously, play with it. And so that's what I used. And you can see the slits. Slits are the lines where you can use the edible marker and you can transfer this shape onto your cookie. And that is what I did with this door shape. And I'll show you. Or I guess I won't show you. I don't think I have it here in my...
It says round concentric. That's not it? Not this?
This is how to transfer the lines, but let me just quickly check, because I for sure thought I had it prepared. Because I used a turntable to just quickly check if I have it ready. If not, I will have to...
You can load it in your coffee.
It's actually loading. It's actually loading now. So this is how you would transfer lines on a cookie. I use the black marker, and then if it I think it's enough like this. But if you really need to, you can connect the lines to have a full circle if that helps you. And then you can decorate. Now we're gonna decorate in a minute. I'm just gonna show you the door section I did. Okay, so that's what I did. And then for the door part, oops. See, I transferred my circles with the same stencil. And then using the tricolor royal icing, we're gonna start. And again, I'm going back and forth. It's like a zigzag motion, slowly turning the turntable. Now I can imagine these could be done as transfers, and then you can attach them onto the gingerbread house. Like all things I see about gingerbread house, this. And then you start again, go up and down, up and down. Now, obviously, if you haven't done this before, it takes a little bit of practice. It reminded me of candy corn for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like when I say it, like it reminds me of candy corn.
All lined up.
Okay, and then you would finish it by adding a doorknob, the panels, and all the good things that are on a door. And then you can use this is a large boo-boo stick. If you don't have this tool, you need to get it because it's fantastic. It works for so many different things, but especially for removing icing from your cookie and cleaning up the edges. This would be also like, imagine a dress, like what are the dresses? Is it like
Mexican there? The Mexican?
Yeah, exactly. So that's how I did this design. Okay.
Well, how big is your Captain America cookie? Terry wants to know.
It's 3-inch, and the design and also the template, it's 3-inch in a PDF. I'm also including a JPEG format, which you can obviously make it bigger if you wanted to. But I find 3-inch is kind of like a really good starting point. I find if it's bigger, then it's like 4 or 5-inch cookie is a bit too much. So 3-inch, it's like it fits nicely in a bag, and it's fiesta dresses, exactly.
Oh, look at Denise's idea.
Turkey tail. Oh my goodness, yes, you could do a turkey tail. Excellent. Yeah, different colors maybe. But if you're using brown, the only thing is if you're using brown is kind of like a black color, right? So you really want to maybe use the white then for the buffer.
Thank you very much, Debbie.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now for the round. So I'm going to quickly do some wet on wet. We're not gonna do Captain America cookies. Sorry.
We'll do a Marvel Day another day.
So are you doing wet on wet, you said?
Well, I'm gonna do like quick wet on wet.
Okay. There was just
I really like I was inspired mainly by the paper craft. You know, I don't know. You would probably know what it is. What is it called? It's like accordion paper, and it's like in circles. What is that called? You know, and there are different colors and
like a kind of a fan thing that
like a fan thing. Yeah. I really like that. So I thought
so there was just a question about icing consistency. How do you test the seconds? Can you explain?
Okay, so to test the consistency, it's very simple. Take a timer if you haven't done it before, because we tend to speed up as we go counting. Take a timer if you haven't done it before, and then take a bowl with your icing and take a spatula or a spoon, and you can either pull the icing up, let it fall in, and then once it starts counting how long it takes for it to come, so it's blended with the remaining icing in the bowl. Or you can use the spatula and run it through the icing, and that will create a kind of like a divider line in the middle, and then count how long it takes for the line to disappear. You can give the bowl a little shake. That's what we sometimes do. And then count how long, 15 seconds should take about 15 seconds for it to heal, 20 seconds, about 20 seconds, 30 seconds. But imagine you keep counting 1, 2, you start 1, 2, 3, and then you start speeding up. So that's your timer. So you don't accidentally make your icing, thinner or thicker or whatever. But we always struggle. Well, I don't want to say always, but we also struggle with consistency.
Yes,
so it's an ongoing issue of
right.
All right, so I'm gonna quickly. Oh, we are going a little over time.
A little bit.
I'm trying to reach my 10 hours.
I know.
Thanks for sticking in with me. All right, so I'm gonna do this fairly quickly. It should be a quick one. And I haven't really even done my hearts. I have these heart flags that I did, but never mind. All right, so now I'm going to, let's do some dots here. Oh, I didn't see Jeremy here today.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing him today. Sally has a question about your pleating technique from a couple of months ago. Did you use a cupcake liner? You tried that, right?
Yes, the cupcake liner actually does work. The only thing is you need a large cupcake liner. Because you can only, imagine the cupcake liner has a bottom, right? And the bottom is not pleated. Bottom is flat. So when you cut it, you end up having a small portion of it. So you need larger cupcake liner, like those jumbo liners. Now we're gonna do red. Oh, I need to cut this. Any plans for the weekend?
Me? Us? I'm going to vegetate for my weekend.
Yeah.
You had a busy, oh God, you're partied, well, not you, but your son is partied out. You had a busy.
Well, we had my daughter's birthday and my son Ryan's graduation, and then we had Father's Day, so. And I'm so out of practice from seeing people.
Yeah.
Right? What about you guys?
It depends on how everybody's feeling. But we will possibly go to my husband's aunt's house and see some family.
Yeah, you haven't seen, this is people you haven't seen in, right?
I mean, we've seen them a couple times, but like his cousin that we haven't seen in 2 years. So yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of people have, it's been long, too long.
But it's supposed to be nice this weekend.
That's good.
Weather, yeah.
Did you get a kiddie pool? Do the girls have a little pool in the
Oh
backyard?
yeah, just a little plastic thing.
Perfect.
They love it.
Yes. It's easier to manage and you don't have to worry so much. Not that you can leave them alone. I just mean it's less of a concern, you know, and it's just a little thing.
Mm-hmm. No real pool maintenance either.
That's it.
Bye, Julie. I don't know. I mean, I always keep my transfers in like a container with the lid, so I don't know about. But that would be just like a little. Don't you keep sprinkles in there, like the little things, the snap lids? It should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since Sally brought up the cupcake thing, this would actually be a neat thing to try with that pleated paper on this design. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, if you can, yes, it's a lot of folding.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You also have to figure out how to. It would have to be completely round all the way, right?
Yeah.
I guess you could just use pieces of it though.
What I've seen recently with the pleated technique, I've seen it used as a transfer or something. So it was really neat. Now, okay, let's make it more patriotic. Now I know I made the. I'm gonna just stick this on.
Oh, how cute!
So these are little hearts. I know I made the center, but it needed a little long. You can also add some dots along the bottom if you wanted to make it like stars. And yeah.
Awesome.
So, we didn't finish the cupcake.
There's more.
You've got exactly 2 minutes, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
So 2 minutes. So folks, so this is the 2 minutes, fastest minute. Okay, so there. Okay, this is how you do it.
Yay!
So basically, you flood every other section, and then you let it rest, and then you flood, and then you can play with, there's some sprinkles I made.
I love it.
They are on the parchment, on the wax paper. So, yeah. That's it for today from me.
Great.
Okay.
Well, thank you everybody for sticking with us, helping
Yeah, that was a long one.
Hour and a half.
And I checked, Amber, you got your stars.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Yeah,
everyone.
that's awesome.
All right. Thanks, guys.
So Amber
All
hit
right. I like how you said that. All right.
And I got mine last week, so thank you to everybody that helped me get mine. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Yeah, you can't really help me much, but tune in every time we go live. So I don't feel awkward that nobody's watching.
You can watch the replay, Jem. You can rewatch the replay. And thanks so much for joining us. You'll find all the templates in our coffee shops.
And also, I wanted to remind you, we will be live again on Tuesday with Mar, and we are making brownie cups.
Oh, fun.
And I think either of us have ever made, right?
No.
So it's going to be an epic.
Epic, yes.
We'll see whether how it goes. But please tune in. We can't wait to see you. Maybe you can also do it with us.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.